celebration of Kansas Day, we have been discussing different symbols that represent Kansas. Today, we're going to create one of those Kansas symbols, the mythological bird, the Jayhawk. So in creating our bird, you're going to see 5 pieces of paper on your table. You should have a blue piece of paper for the body. You should have a red piece of paper for the head. You should have an orange piece of paper for our legs. You should also have 2 yellow pieces of paper, one for the beak and one for the shoes. Now, you should also have scissors, a glue stick, and a black crayon. The first thing that we are going to do is cut out the body of our Jayhawk. When you're cutting out the body, make sure that you are cutting on the black line. When you're done cutting out your Jayhawk body, it should look like this. Next, pick up your red piece of paper. Now, cut along the black line to create your head. When you're all done, the head of your Jayhawk should look like this. Next, we're going to cut out the beak. We have 2 pieces of yellow paper. Find the beak on your table. Next, you're going to cut the beak out along the black line. When you are all done cutting your Jayhawk beak, it should look like this. Next, we are going to cut the legs of the Jayhawk. That would be your orange piece of paper. Make sure that you're cutting along the black line. When you're all done, your legs should look like this. The last thing that we need to cut out for our Jayhawk is our shoes. Pick up your last piece of yellow paper. Make sure that you're cutting along the black line. Try your best. When you're all done cutting out your feet, they should look like this. After all of your pieces are cut out, make sure that you have 7 pieces. 7 pieces of your Jayhawk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to glue together is our head. So you need your red piece for your head and your beak, the yellow piece right here. So when you glue it together, you are going to overlap the beak on top. So when I glue, I'm just going to put a little bit along the line of of the edge of the beak and overlap it on the head. So it should look like that. Next, I'm going to give my Jayhawk an eye. So I'm going to look, there's a little point right here, and you're going to color the eye just above that point. The size of your eye should be no bigger than 1/4. Here's your eye. Next, we're going to glue together the legs and the feet. When you're gluing them, make sure that you when you glue it, you have your feet pointing this way. You're going to glue it on the back side of the feet. So when I glue, I'm just going to put glue on the edge of the back side of my feet. I'm going to glue my leg to my shoe, like this. I'm going to do the same thing for my other foot and make sure that it's facing this direction. I'm going to glue on my shoe. There we go. So now I have my feet ready and my head ready. So now we're going to put all of our pieces together on our body to create our Jayhawk. So the tail should be facing the opposite direction of the beak. So this part right here is our tail. So when I glue my Jayhawk, I'm going to make sure the beak is facing that way, the tail is facing that way. I'm going to overlap the head onto the body. When I glue, I'm just going to glue a little bit on the bottom of the Jayhawk's neck. Shouldn't be pushing too hard on your glue. We're going to overlap it and press it down and make sure that it sticks. So your Jayhawk should look like that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip our body back over, and we're going to make sure that our feet are facing the same direction as our beak. So I see that my toes are facing the same way as my beak here. My toes are facing the same way as my beak here. I'm going to glue it on the leg and press it down. And it's up to you how long you want your Jayhawk legs to be. Glue a little bit on the leg and press it down. Now I can see that my beak and my feet are facing the same direction. So when you're all done, your Jayhawk should look like this.